This was the beginning of the third movement of Max Reger's Suite for Violoncello Alone in D minor. Max Reger lived from 1873 until 1916. He has to be considered as one of the most productive composers of all times. He wrote 3 cello suites in 1914. He was the first composer who dared to write music for unaccompanied cello after Bach. The 3 suites are very expressive, take full advantage of the enormous range of our instrument, and do not lack here and there a certain sense of humor. In general, we can play works for cello solo without analyzing them at the piano. They don't need any accompaniment, they stand for themselves, being complete, full-sized works of art. In this case, I make an exception because I would like to demonstrate you a specialty of this movement, the suspension. And you will understand these suspensions better if I add the meant harmonies on the piano. The beginning is very simply harmonized. Reger stays in the field of B flat major. Here the first suspension comes. E natural resolving to F. Now the next, F sharp resolving to G. Now 4 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here on it gets a little more complicated. Reger loves more complicated harmonies. And this one. Now again in a row. This part is being repeated an octave lower. Here, where the double stops in the cello part begin, he gives us an interesting chromatic scale. A chromatic scale starting on G. The G he does not write in the part, although it would be possible to play it on the cello. He doesn't write it in, we have to imagine it. Starting on this imagined G, he continues G sharp A, suspension of course. Natural C, C sharp D, and the last 2 notes, the E flat and the E. He again doesn't write into the part, we have to imagine those 2 as well. Here he reaches A minor. He passes the B flat and gives us a wonderful Mahler-like suspension. F major. And another one, now G minor. And the third one, C minor. He ends the first part with a simple but also beautiful suspension. Now let's have a look at the Largo from a sheer technical point of view. The beginning asks us for a couple of changes of positions. These changes of positions should not disturb or destroy the purity, the simplicity, and the intimacy of the theme. The first one goes from 4 to 4. The next one, 1, 1. Here we have a stretch. And another stretch. Now you slide down on 3 and land on 2. here comes another stretch. Now heavy 1-1. And here you slide on 3. And here you slide on 1 to the new note. Now you slide on the old finger and put the new finger down. Same. Now on 3 you slide to 3. And you slide on 2 to 1. That's what the left hand has to do. The bow supports it. First, we have to decide whether we slide on the old bow or the new one. The first one, the 4-4, comes on the new bow. I exaggerate a little bit. Now, between the bow change, the stretch, same thing. Stretch again. Now this one on the old bow. Stretch. Almost unhearable. Now on one bow. Here again on the old bow. New bow. Old bow, old bow, old bow, same bow. It is very important to know exactly where you slide. Now let's go on in the piece and see what we can do with the suspensions. Suspension and the resolution. And the suspension we play with slow bow and fast vibrato, the resolution with faster bow and wider vibrato. Now the middle section. full of suspensions as well. Here, the repeat of the beginning starts. It's an identical repeat until the passage with the double stops. Here, he gives us the bottom G. He continues. I hope you enjoyed being introduced to Reger's world, and I wish you much fun and satisfaction working on it. Thank you for your interest, take care, and so long.